So let's start. So let's start for the second session of the diffusion current densities. In here, we will introduce the Hall effect. So for the Hall effect, when we consider a current carrying conductor like metal or semiconductor placed into the magnetic field. So in here, if we will draw the direction, this is X, this is Y, and this is Z. So X is the direction of the current. In the X direction, the current is considered, and the Y direction, if we consider the magnetic transverse magnetic field, in Y direction, that is the transverse mode magnetic field. Yes, pardon. Hello.
So Z direction होगा.
Oh, sorry, Z direction. Sorry. Z direction magnetic field. Right. X direction we will consider the current, and Z direction the magnetic field. So a piece of current carrying conductor is the current carrying conductor, whether it is a metal or semiconductor, is placed into the transverse magnetic mode, which is perpendicular with both the electric and magnetic field. Electric and magnetic field. This current carrying conductor, the current is perpendicular electric and magnetic field. It is, if it is perpendicular, then the Hall effect, this one, is introduced inside the semiconductor or metal, semiconductor or metal, and the field, and respective field is called Hall field. Respective field called the Hall field. Okay, I repeat again. When a current carrying conductor, whether it is the electron or hole, or whether it is the semiconductor or metal, placed into the transverse mode magnetic field, in that case the electric field is generated. Electric field and magnetic field both are perpendicular with each other, and in that case the Hall effect is the phenomena is occurred, that is considered as the Hall effect. And in here, this Hall effect, when it is introduced, the respective field is considered as the Hall field. Okay, respective field is considered as the Hall field. So now, if the semiconductor is p-type, now the semiconductor is p-type such that the current is carried. For the p-type semiconductor, current is carried by electron or hole?
Holes.
Right, due to the holes and the accumulation of holes on the bottom surface makes this positive charge with respect to the top surface due to the polarity of the holes. Actually, when we consider the carrier, it has nothing polarity. When you consider the ion has the polarity, whether it is the anion or cation or positively charged or negatively charged. But due to this consideration, we consider the bottom surface makes the positive charge with respect to the top surface. Now, if we consider the average magnetic force of a current carrier is B into E into V, where E is the what is the E? Electronic charge. E is the electronic charge. B is the magnetic field or flux density, and V is the drift velocity. V is the drift velocity. So this drift velocity is in X direction. It is already drawn in the last figure. This drift velocity is in the X direction. Okay. And FH is considered the Hall field develop in which direction? Hall field कौन सा direction में develop करेगा? In here from this diagram,
Y direction.
Y direction. Hall field is developed due to the Y direction, and the force on a current carrier executed by this FH. FH is the, what is FH? Hall field. FH is the considered as the Hall field. So if we consider the FH is the Hall field, then E into FH. What is the meaning of E into FH? If we consider the E is the electronic charge, is create a multiplication or create a product with the Hall field, then it considered the current carrier inside the semiconductor, or inside the, due to the magnetic force, average magnetic force of the due to the semiconductor, that is the B into E into V. V into V into V, where this B into E into V. So now if we consider N0 is the carrier concentration. N0 is the carrier concentration. Then J, if we consider J is the N0 into E into V. It is already discussed in the last session when we consider the drift carrier. So now can you tell me in which direction this J, this current density is considered? In which direction this current density considered? Hello? In which direction the current density is considered?
X.
It is the X direction. So for this case, we can write, for this equation 1 and equation 2, if we consider for the equation 1 and from the equation 1 and 2, we can consider FH equal to JB by N0 into E. FH equal to JB by N0 into E. So from that case, the quantity FH by JB, that is equal to N0 into E. So what is the consideration of the FH by JB? That is the Hall field per unit current density, per unit current density per unit magnetic field. per unit magnetic field. So this is the consideration of the Hall effect or Hall field due to the per unit current density per unit magnetic field, that is considered as the RH. So RH is considered as the Hall coefficient. So RH, that is equal to 1 by N0 into E. What is the value of RH? RH is equal to 1 by N0 into E. Okay. So is it up to this one? Is it clear or not? So this is the Hall coefficient is considered. This is the equation 3. For generalize, we consider RH equal to R by N0 into E. This one, R by small r by N0 into E, where small r is constant, not much different from unity. So why we consider this R over here? Thus the error in resulting of the Hall coefficient is not large. The error of the Hall coefficient is not large. We consider the R, small r, which is nearly equal to the unity. So R is the Hall error. We consider this R is considered the Hall error. So when the Hall effect is considered, if the current is produced, whether it is the current carrying conductor like semiconductor or metal, so in that case, if it is placed into the in the transverse magnetic field, so the corresponding electric field is developed in the both the perpendicular side. So magnetic field, if it is in Z direction, and corresponding the Hall effect is considered, that phenomena, the Hall effect is generated across the Y direction. Okay, and that field due to this Hall effect considered as the Hall field. And on the basis of that, when the current number of carrier in inside the semiconductor is developed over here, and in that case we consider the Hall coefficient accordingly. Okay, so for that purpose, if we consider that one, if the current carrier is electron or hole, if the current carrier is electron or hole, in that case RH is equal to 1 by P into E. If it is the carrier is hole, and RH equal to 1 by N into E if the carrier is electron, where N is the electron carrier concentration and P is the hole carrier concentration. It is already discussed in the last session, hole carrier concentration and electron carrier concentration. And when both the electron and holes contribute to the current, and the Hall coefficient is determined as the follows, and it is deflected due to the current densities of in the Y direction, respectively the Y component of the electron and hole, that is the consider the velocities is detection by this magnetic field. So when the Hall effect is introduced, what are the current are generated inside the carrier. In that case, the direction, current density in the direction of Y, it is the Y direction or X direction, what in the Y direction. If we consider the electron and hole, current velocity is developed due to this field, this is the Hall field. Okay, so on the basis of that, we also arrange an experiment. So that is considered over here. Just draw the circuit, experimental circuit. We'll consider over here. So this is the T, this width is 3 and this breadth is V, and this current I is flowing over here, and this is the hall voltage. And definitely if we consider this diagram, in this direction, X direction, we consider the current or current densities. In Z direction, we consider the magnetic field, and obviously in the Y direction, the Hall field is generated. Hall field. This is the experimental arrangement where we apply the magnetic field in Z direction, and in X direction, the current is the X direction, and definitely Y is the Hall field is developed, where FH is considered as RH into J into B, where we consider the FH is equal to RH into J into B, and VH, the Hall voltage, VH is the Hall voltage, that is equal to VH equal to RH into JB into this width T. Consider this equation. VH equal to RH into JB into B. So definitely if we consider the current density as J and 1 by T into B, small b, in here this TB, product of TB is considered the cross-sectional area. This B, so is the one type of rectangle. So it is the TB is considered as the cross-sectional area of the sample, and corresponding VH, that is equal to RH into I divided by TB into B into T. So BTT cancelled out because J is equal to I by A. A means the cross-sectional area. The cross-sectional area is that is equal to A. So TT cancelled out. So RH into I into B divided by B. So VH. So this is the VH. So in here, if we consider the RH is the Hall coefficient, B is the magnetic field, and this small b is the breadth of that specimen of the semiconductor or the current conducting device. So in that case, these are the fixed. So VH is directly proportional to I. Hall coefficient is fixed or constant. B is the magnetic field density, or it is a constant in a particular direction, and B is the breadth of the sample. So it is V is directly proportional to the I, when it is also once again it's proved that Ohm's law in here by using this Hall voltage experimental circuit. So in here we will consider where we will change the current, and how does the voltage, Hall voltage is changed. We will just take the reading from this experimental circuit. And similarly, in the RH is rapidly determined for the Hall voltage and corresponding the current inside the semiconductor material. Okay, so this is the brief discussion about the Hall effect. Okay, now up to this level, is it clear or not? If there is any confusion, please you can raise your hand. Is it clear, the Hall effect and Hall voltage?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hello, Yogesh.
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay, fine. So now next one we will introduce about the carrier mobility. If we consider the electric field E as E in semiconductor, electric field E in semiconductor. If we consider the electric field E in semiconductor, so at the rate which a current carrier gains momentum as E into capital E. So E is, if we consider E is the electric field as a semiconductor, at a rate current can gains a momentum E into E. It is introduced the classical mechanics, the Newton's second law. Newton's second law we will consider over here. This is a Newton's second law. So by the rate of loss of momentum, the rate of loss of momentum, the rate of loss of momentum through the scattering given as m star v by tau. Can you define me what is m star? What is m star? It is already discussed in the last day. What is m star? Hello? What is m star? M star is the effective mass of carrier. What is V? V is the drift velocity due to electric field. What is tau? This is the momentum relaxation time. So from here we can write the carriers gain momentum as C into E, E into E equal to m star into V by tau. So this is the tau. This is the carrier mobility is considered over here, and mobility is defined as velocity by electric field, that is E into tau by m star. Velocity by electric field, that is equal to mu. It is the mobility, carrier mobility that is considered as E into tau by m star. Usually tau is a function, of the carrier energy. It is a basically function of the carrier energy, and the mobility is correctly considered as, correctly considered as mu equal to E into tau divided by m star. And this representation of tau as it is average value of tau for all carriers. This tau is considered the average value of all carriers. So in here, when we consider the electric field in a semiconductor at this rate, which the current carriers gains a momentum that is equal to E into E, momentum, when we consider the momentum, and that momentum is considered due to the Newton's second law, that is E into E, and rate of the loss of the momentum through its scattering, that is given as m star V by tau, where m star is the effective mass and V is the drift velocity due to the electric field, and tau is the momentum relaxation time. Tau is the momentum relaxation time, and this m star V by tau, it is considered as the carrier gain of this momentum, that is equal to V by E, that is the mobility of the carrier, that is V by E, velocity by electric field, that is equal to E into tau by m star. So for the finally, this tau is the function of the carrier energy, and the mobility correctly considered as mu equal to E into tau by m star, and this tau is considered as the average time of tau for the all carriers. Okay. So these are the basically brief discussion about the semiconductor properties of the semiconductor. What are the phenomena is occur when we apply the external field across the semiconductor, that is considered over here. And we also discuss one important parameter, that is the effective mass due to the electric field, and how does the carriers are gain its velocity due to the electric field as a drift carrier, and as well as the diffusion is occurred, and due to this phenomena how does the current carriers current density is also discussed, that is also introduced in this class. So this is the end of this property of semiconductor, and I also solve some numerical problem on that. Okay, so now we will introduce the new chapter, that is the semiconductor junction diode. In the last session, we already introduced about the properties of semiconductor and p-type, n-type semiconductor. Now, in this semiconductor junction diode, we will discuss about the p-n junction, p and n junction, p-n junction. And when we consider this p-n junction, so p-type material and n-type material diffused with each other, maintaining a concentration gradient, it from a p-n junction. Okay, so in here it is one type of step graded abrupt p-n junction formation, and maintaining a concentration gradient, on it. So when we consider the linearly graded junction, the impurity concentration varies almost linearly with the distance from the junction. Okay, and now when the junction can be formed, draw a single line of the crystal. It is already drawn in the last diagram. It is already discussed. So this is the junction is formed over here, maintaining a concentration gradient. Now, if we consider when the p-n junction is formed, in that type, what are the actual phenomena is occur inside the junction, that is considered over here. That is considered as the unbiased p-n junction, diode. Please observe the diagram. So for the unbiased p-n junction, this is a junction. This is considered as the junction or depletion region, where the immobile charge ions are accumulated over here. So this is the p-type and n-type material diffused with each other. This is the junction. This is the junction, and this width, this region is considered as the depletion region, and n-type and p-type, these are the carriers, these are the holes, and these minus are the immobile charge ions. And for the n-type, it is also the immobile charge ions. Okay. So now when we consider the p-type, the acceptor level is higher, and for the n-type, the donor level is higher. And for the p-type, this donor level is lower. So this is the acceptor level, and this is the donor level. So in here, acceptor level is lower. So definitely when it is recombined across the depletion region, automatically it is in here in this position. For the p-type, the acceptor level is very high, but when it cross the junction through this depletion region, automatically the concentration of this acceptor level is now declined, and in here it is very low. Similarly, reverse phenomena is occur for the n-type. This the donor level concentration is very higher. So when it cross through this junction, cross at this junction through this depletion region, this donor level concentration is p side is very low. At junction it is 0. At the junction, this is meet at the junction, that is equal to 0. So automatically, if we consider the whole concentration, that whole concentration is very high. Similarly, the electron concentration is very high in the p side, n side. In the n side, the electron concentration is very high, and for the p side, the whole concentration is very high. So at this region, it is considered like that. Okay. So if we consider again the space charge densities, so it is negative, this is a positive this side. So this is considered as the space charge densities. So that is del square V by del X square, that is equal to minus rho by epsilon. What is the rho? Rho is the space charge density. And similarly, how does the electric field are considered? That is minus dv by ds, the rate of change of voltage with respect to the displacement, or where the diffusion is occurred, that is considered as the electric field, that is E. And in here also we consider the barrier field as, this is the barrier field, consider that is the barrier field as E. This is a barrier field. So when the unbiased PN junction, when we consider the unbiased PN junction, the immobile charge ions are accumulate at the depletion region. The immobile charge ions are accumulate across the depletion region, and in the p-type, the holes are the majority carrier. In the n side, the electron are the majority carrier, but the immobile charge ions are developed due to this unbiased structure. Now it is formed all the immobile charge ions across the depletion region. That immobile charge ions is generated due to the electrolytic analysis. When we consider the electrolytic analysis, it is the one type of capacitive effect is introduced. If we consider this the two electrode capacitor over here, is the two electrode, n side and p side are the two side electrode, and this accumulation of these ions are considered the this is the capacitive effect is introduced over here due to the space charge region. Okay, and these ions are generated due to this electrolytic analysis. Due to the electrolytic analysis, the ions are generated. Like example is sodium chloride. In the sodium chloride, Na plus, if we electrolysis this sodium chloride, like sodium Na plus Cl minus. Why it is there? Because Na plus is the valency is, if we consider the electronic structure, of sodium, that is 11. In last cell electron, one electron is there. If it is eliminate one electron, then it is get the nearest inert gas and octet fulfillment. So it is the Na plus and Cl minus. If it is accept 288 in that case for the chlorine, so it is Cl minus. So for that case, the accumulation of this the charge ions inside this depletion region is formed. On the basis of that, the carrier concentration level of the holes and electrons are effective according to the depletion region, and at the junction that level is considered as 0. Okay, so similarly, when it formed the electric field, that electric field is developed due to the voltage is determined over here, and this the rate of change of voltage with respect to displacement, because the rate of change of voltage is opposite with respect to the displacement. That is why the negative sign is there. Is the electric field is considered due to this junction. So it is considered for the unbiased. There is no external biasing is applied over here. There is no external biasing applied over here. That is considered as the unbiased PN junction. It is considered as the unbiased PN junction diode. Okay, so no external biasing is discussed over here. So in here we will introduce about the PN junction. Simple, the how does the PN junction is formed, and when the PN junction is formed, what are the different phenomena is occurred. That is we will consider in this discussion or in this mode. The unbiased structure, how does the ions, the immobile charge ion is developed, and it is concentrated across the depletion region, and what are the concentration gradient is introduced over here. We also discuss in this class. Next day we will introduce about the biased PN junction, whether we apply the some biasing, the forward bias or reverse bias we will apply it over here, and how does the depletion region with this change, that is also considered, and what are the changes of the energy band diagram